I'm Alex Pault, and today I am at the APEC 2025 conference in Atlanta with Aung Thet Tu, the general chair of the event. How's it going? He's also an old friend of mine. So how are you doing, Aung?
Hey Alex, how are you?
I'm doing very well. You know, this is actually really a nice show. APEC has been growing over the years. It's shown the latest advanced power technologies, and right now we're in the middle of a power electronics revolution.
Yes, it is. Well, APEC has been around for 40 years, you know.
40 years.
And older than a lot of the students and attendees that are coming today. But we enjoyed it a lot because 40 years ago when it started, you know, it was a small conference with John Kasakian and Gang of 8 from MIT and others. Said there's a vacuum for teaching power electronics engineers how to make things work. Applied part of power electronics, and that's the name APEC, right? APEC. So back then we had, you know, 250 attendees. Today we're 5,000, 6,000, you know. And back then we had 32 papers. Now we're over 600. Back then, we did everything with fax machines. You know?
Passenger pigeons.
Yes, sir. So it's grown a lot, and we serve the industry, you know, for power electronics engineer and all the associated components like semiconductors and capacitors and magnetics and so on. So it's an important part of the power supply industry, if you will.
Part of the power ecosystem. I mean,
exactly.
And one of the things I'm fond of saying, and I tell people all the time, is that power is one of the truest fraternities in engineering. Because if you think, for example, you're a sensors guy. If you're a piezo sensor guy, you're not going to work for an opto sensor company.
That's right.
If you're a laser guy, you're not going to work necessarily for an LED company. But if you're a power semiconductor engineer, you're going to work for a lot of companies in our industry, right?
That's right. So if you have we have a saying, well, when you make a product, a lot of people say, what is the application? Well, if you're a power semiconductor, it goes in every application, right? So of course there are voltages and currents, you know, ratings and figure of merits and for different things, for optimizing things. But a lot of the products that we make goes into many applications that saves the world.
No electronics without electricity.
Yes, sir.
So what are some of the trends? I know big trends are easy, AI and edge computing and automotive. What are some of the trends that you've seen that aren't really on everyone's radar, but should be?
Tough question. You know, we've gone through the renewable energy revolution and people, a lot of the countries with subsidies and even without that, for Germany, for example, has gone through the whole solar energy revolution. A lot of the places like Iceland, for example, have gone through geothermal energy. And so I think the next generation is, you know, how do we save the world with the issues with the pollution? It's very difficult to get to where we were 100 years ago, right? So how do you get to that? And so I think that's still a challenge. I know there are a lot of innovations happening in electric vehicles and stuff, but it's not enough, you know. So I think that's where the challenge is going to be.
Well, the beautiful thing is we're getting to higher levels of efficiency. We're able to make some of these systems, like when you think about, in my mind, one of the big enablers for green technology is better inverter technology, better power conversion technology. What are your thoughts on that?
So yes, you're right. We need more. A lot of it is incremental technology improvements. I think we need revolutionary improvements. So what are they? It's hard to tell. You know that we're looking for step function of improvement, and that's where things like wide bandgap semiconductors come in. This is where quantum computing comes in. You know, so we're getting to a world where it's not just hardware improvement anymore. You need to have software improvement as well, and marriage of the two to optimize these kind of things. Algorithms are important. So, and that's where a lot of the innovation is going on as well.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So before I let you go, you have any final words for our audience, advice or tips or anything?
Yeah, well, so APEC, Applied Power Electronics Conference, very important conference for us. It's provided, underwritten by 3 very important sponsors, if you will. IEEE PELS, Power Electronics Society, IEEE IAS, Industry Application Society, and Power Sources Manufacturing Association, which is PSMA. So with those 3, they put a lot for the industry and for the advancements of technology to help all the things that we talked about. So, and this is a gathering of place where young people, experienced people, I don't say old, experienced people come together to learn about how to create magic.
Very cool. Aung, thank you so much for taking the time. I really appreciate it.
Alex, thank you, sir.